Busy was furious. She paced back and forth in her room, her hands shaking with anger. Kola stood in front of her, silent, his head slightly lowered. She shouted at him for failing to get Ruth's grant competition idea. She reminded him that everything depended on it. Kola promised her he would fix it. He swore that before the day ended, he would bring Ruth's idea to her. That same evening, Kola went to Ruth's house. He acted calm and caring, asking about her day, asking about her plans, asking about the competition. He asked if she was getting ready. Ruth smiled and welcomed the question. She acted excited. She acted trusting. She told him everything. Her full business plan. Her product idea. Her marketing strategy. Even the details she had worked on late at night. She spoke freely, knowing exactly what would happen next. And as expected, Kola took everything straight to Busy. When Busy heard the plan, her anger melted into joy. She hugged Kola tightly. Now, she believed, her future was secure. 1 week before the competition, Busy took things further. She tracked down one of the male judges whose name had been listed by the organizers. She met him in secret. She smiled at him. She touched his arm. And later that night, she offered him her body in exchange for one promise, to make sure she would be the first person called to present on competition day. The judge agreed. Busy left feeling powerful. Untouchable. But she was not alone. Ruth had already paid someone to watch her. 2 days later, Ruth received a message. Along with it came pictures. Clear pictures of Busy kissing the male judge. Clear proof. The day of the competition arrived. Ruth walked in confidently. Then she saw Busy. She stopped in her tracks and pretended to be shocked. She asked Busy what she was doing there. Busy smiled nervously and said she had also decided to pitch her own business idea. She said she had been scared to tell Ruth because she did not know how Ruth would react. Ruth softened her face. She pretended to forgive her. She hugged her. She wished her good luck. Then she added something that made Busy's heart skip. She said she had changed her business idea at the last minute. Busy's smile almost broke. Fear flashed across her eyes. But it was too late to turn back. Inside the judge's room, Daniel scanned the list of presenters. He saw Busy's name placed at the very top. With his authority and his father's influence, he rearranged the list. He moved Busy to the middle. When the judge who had slept with Busy protested, Daniel had him removed from the panel. The man was escorted out. Busy never knew. The competition began. Ruth was called in first. She walked onto the stage and presented her idea clearly. Confidently. Perfectly. Then she thanked the judges and left the room. Outside, Busy waited. Angry. Confused. Her body burned with shame as she realized she had traded herself for nothing. Finally, her name was called. She walked into the room, searching the judge's table for the man who had promised her help. He was gone. Fear crawled into her chest. Still, she began her presentation. Halfway through, Daniel raised his hand. He stopped her. He said her project was exactly the same as one already presented. That meant it was stolen. Busy panicked. She denied it loudly. She said the idea was hers. The judges exchanged looks. Then they decided to bring Ruth in. They wanted both women to defend the same project. To prove who truly owned it. When Ruth entered, Busy's legs trembled. Questions filled the room. The judges asked about planning, funding, research, product design, marketing. Ruth answered each one clearly with confidence. Busy opened her mouth again and again. But no answers came. She did not know the answers to the questions being thrown at her. Her voice cracked. Her hands shook. After the competition ended, Busy followed Ruth outside the hall. Her voice shook as she began to apologize again and again. She begged Ruth to forgive her. Ruth did not soften. She asked Busy one simple question: how did she get the idea? Busy looked away. She said nothing. Ruth's voice turned cold. She told Busy that their friendship was over. That from that moment on, she no longer had a friend in her. She warned her that she would be hearing from her lawyer for stealing her work. Busy laughed. She did not believe her. Instead, she threw harsh words at Ruth, called her bitter and heartless, then stormed away. The next morning, Busy was jolted awake by a ringing phone. It was Kola. His voice was tense as he told her to check the internet. He said her name was everywhere. Confused and afraid, Busy grabbed her phone and rushed online. What she saw broke her. Videos from the competition were trending. Clips of her frozen in front of the judges. Clips of Ruth answering every question. Clips of her own silence and shaking hands. People called her a thief. A fraud. A disgrace. The comments were endless. Cruel. Merciless. Busy dropped her phone and burst into tears. Before she could even breathe properly, another message came in. An email. From the fashion school. With trembling fingers, she opened it. Her admission had been cancelled. Her scholarship had been withdrawn. Effective immediately. Her vision blurred. She read it again. And again. Then she screamed. Everything she had dreamed of was gone. She fell onto her bed, crying until her chest hurt, wondering how she would face her parents. Wondering how she would tell them that the future they had prayed for had died in one morning. Shaking, she called Kola. She needed comfort. She needed someone to stand by her. But Kola's voice was cold. He told her to stay away from him. He said he did not want his name connected to her scandal. Then he hung up. Busy stared at her phone in disbelief. Even him. He had abandoned her too. Something inside her snapped. With nothing left to protect, nothing left to lose, Busy opened her social media and went live. Her eyes were swollen. Her voice was broken. She told the world that the idea had not come from her. She said it was Ruth's boyfriend who had stolen it. She said Kola had brought the plan to her. Then she said the final thing that set the internet on fire. She admitted that she had been sleeping with him. The video spread faster than anything before it. Within hours, Kola's name was everywhere. Screenshots. Clips. Headlines. Messages. His company was dragged into the scandal. Customers complained. Partners pulled away. By the end of the week, Kola lost his job. He walked out of the office with his head down, his reputation in ruins, his future uncertain.